Hey guys, we are back after a long hiatus with our 18th episode of the Untacticos. In this stream, we are going to discuss about Arsenal's the summer window and all the players that Arsenal are planning on signing, especially the two big names, Vinicious Jr. and Bruno Guimarães. And we'll talk about even the Chelsea games, Henderson, sorry, not the games, Chelsea signings, Henderson and Welbeck now signing for Chelsea, and a lot more in between that. I'm Jito, Joby Ho on X. I'm with
Hello, hi guys. This is Ganesh. I'm Ganesh on Twitter.
I'm Dum Dum Shiramani, not on camera yet, but will be there soon.
yeah. So yeah, let's just start the discussion. What's our transfer like updates? Everything looking like at the moment? Like, what do you guys think about this whole Vinicius signing for Arsenal news? And will it happen? What are the valuations like? Like the numbers are like ridiculous, like 140 million, 150 million. Do you think Arsenal are in the position to pay 150 million on a player and even pay 400k or so per week wages for Vinicius Jr. when all our other players are like nowhere close to that number? The last player I think we signed, we paid that high wages for like was like Ozil at 350k, or did we have anyone who we were
I
paying more
think
than that?
maybe Alexis
So
Sanchez.
yeah, what do you, yeah. So yeah, what do you guys think about this whole Vinicius to Arsenal uh, transfer update rumors?
You wanna go first, Raman?
Yeah, sure.
Ganesha,
So,
yeah.
so this is a
Okay, anyone?
like we've been hearing what Arteta has been saying, right? Like we need to evolve in the attack and everything else. So this is going to be like a boom signing, boom signing. But again, see, everything comes at a cost. First and foremost, I want to address the basic things like around this, like the wages and everything else. Like I don't think so. It's as big as it's been reported. Like people are comparing it to like what City are paying Holland. Of course, City paying Holland like the massive wages 500k plus is like they cannot afford another player of that sort. The same way, every club, in my opinion, top six club should have like a player of that sort to consistently keep competing. Again, forget everybody else. Like Arsenal, we are in a fantastic financial position to pay him well. Plus the whole image rights thing, as you guys might have read on
Yep.
the internet. I think we'll be paying him. Not even we won't be even crossing the Haaland wage, the basic wage mark or whatever. We'll be paying him a decent salary, probably more than what he's earning right now. He's earning somewhere in the region of 380 or something like that
Yeah.
a week. We'll be maximum paying what 450, 400, 450, which is again doable. Again, I don't know about the tax system in the US, UK and Spain to compare, but yeah, I feel we are in a position to do this deal. Plus the whole image rights thing, it falls in our favor. On the pitch, of course, we have to be prepared for certain things. Of course, we'll be happy with what he delivers in terms of goals, assists, etc., etc. But let's assume this, okay? Like if we play like how we play, and we play like Calafiori as a primary left back, so there will be some sacrifices in terms of a style. So if we are allowing, of course, see, players of this sort like Vinicius and and Ozil and whatnot, see, they have that luxury to be a little freer. You can't expect them to like do the dog work like every other winger we've had, because it's not a dig at any of our wingers, but then none of our wingers have that absolute superstardom kind of quality in them yet,
Correct.
right? I firmly believe Saka will have that in a couple of years, but not yet. So let him do that. But because he's doing that, say a Calafiori who likes to come forward may have to restrict his role. In fact, we might concede a lot more goals than the last two seasons or whatever, last 3 seasons compared to this upcoming season if we sign Vinicius, because the pressure is all on the left hand side of our defense. In fact, we can also see if say Rice is playing as a LCM. right? In a 4-3-3,
Yeah.
we might see some goals conceded on his side. So we can't sit and judge him like for being bad defensively this year. These are all certain things which we have to sacrifice to have a player of this quality in our side. And I'm guaranteeing you this: he will win us games. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean that I think I completely agree. I would just add some things like his image rights, and I think the
Mm-hmm.
competition that he's going to bring in with Haaland. So Manchester City have this superstar Haaland, and now if I think Arsenal being the champions now need to bring in somebody of that ilk, and then it becomes a real rivalry, right? And then that brings
Yeah.
in more eyeballs. Vinicius Jr is going to bring in more eyeballs, and that is going to like earn his wages back. So where I'm coming is his image rights. He's going to pay himself through his image rights, and that's where the economics changes because this is also a way of for Arsenal to be more popular and bring in more money that way. So I don't think wages and wage structure that it can be managed. We had Ozil and Sanchez together, and we were able to manage that. And then I think Aubameyang also was a very highly paid player. So I think because I think we are having this PTSD from that last Ozil deal, Oba deal that Arsenal fans are not able to get over it. Whenever we talk about a superstar signing, Arsenal fans are just backing the owner, saying, "Oh, he can't pay that much wages. It'll ruin the structure." That's not how football happens, right? Erling Haaland is there. He's a superstar. He lifts City even when they're not doing the best, and that's what Vinicius is. Vinicius is a clutch player, and you need such clutch players to win games, win championships. If you're hoping to win Champions League, I think this is the kind of player that we need. And now that we have got the first step of winning the Premier League, I think we should be a little bit open to experimentation. And one thing was very clear last 2 seasons, we were lacking goals. Our defense has been very good, and that has been carrying us a lot. One of the reasons for that was when Saka is playing, he's being that with the two defenders on Saka. There will be a man up on Saka, try to block him and trying to curtail Arsenal's attack. So now with Vinicius coming into this picture, now you suddenly see an increased output even from the other end when because Saka becomes more threatening now. So because Vinicius is going to be the man who is going to take on a couple of players, this is also going to help the striker, the man in the center. I think Joker is. I think a lot of people were initially thinking about Julian Alvarez, right? If it's the same, I think getting Alvarez or getting Vinicius is one of them. So we get one of them, and Vinicius is a better player amongst a more proven player amongst both of them. So if we can pay Alvarez wages, Alvarez price tag, why can't we do it for Vinicius? There's no difference. I don't know why people are mentally trying to challenge that. It's going to be almost similar. What Vinicius brings in addition to Alvarez is, I think Alvarez has to make that step up to become the superstar. Vinicius is a superstar already, and especially if the next deal of Bruno Guimarães goes through, then our left side becomes very, very strong. And I want to shout out to this guy called Nino Scouting
Yeah.
on X.
Yeah.
That guy, amazing, amazing analysis, and that tweet thread, superb. The way he's analyzed it and the way he's thought about how the structure or how Arteta's structure works with Bruno Guimarães also being in the picture, and which most likely is going to happen. And this and a lot of people had this option of like what will happen to Martinelli. I don't think Martinelli is still a sure shot exit. I think if a good offer comes in, he can go, but I don't think both the player and the team don't want him to go right now for this season. I think Arsenal would value him somewhere between 180 to 100 million. That would be the price tag that they would put because there's no urgency to sell him. And he doesn't want to move to
Who's
Saudi.
paying?
There
Who's
are
paying?
offers from Saudi. He doesn't want to move to
Who's paying
Saudi.
80 to 100 million for Martin? Who's paying 80 to
You tell
100
me.
million to
You tell me
Martinelli?
if no. So I think I'll come back to that as well. Matthias Fernandes, after one
Yes.
good season, 1.5 good season, has earned a price tag of 85 million. Spurs paid it. Tonali, after having a seesaw season, he's got 105 million price tag. I think it's not. I don't think it's unfair to expect to get that from a 24-year-old player who's going to be entering his prime. So Martinelli's prime is still in front of him. So I think we are underestimating. And because we don't have this urgency to sell him, and the player is not pushing for a transfer, it's I think we can it's with us to determine the price tag. So we still have a lot of
Hmm.
advantage and leverage there. And what little I've seen of Zolis also is a very direct kind of player. So when he's going to be on the pitch, again, that is the defensive point that Raman brought out on that side. Is still going to be there because Zolis also is a very direct. He's not going to come. You can't expect him to be tracking back as well. He's quick, but he's more of a goal scoring threat. And I think that's
Yeah,
something
but
that
sorry, but I feel that, sorry to interject. I'm saying
no, no,
I feel that Zolis will be molded in that category. You know what I mean? He
yeah,
might be,
like
he might have a
Martinelli.
different role at, yeah, like Martinelli, or maybe like Trossard, depending. See, we have barely seen. We have seen like some clips on the
Yeah.
internet, like how he plays for us, kind of thing. That too in training. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I just feel that he'll not be given that kind of freedom that a Vinicious or someone of that ilk will get. That's my take on Zolis as such.
Okay. And
But again, see, one more important question I had before you continue with the thing. I want to understand what constitutes a, like, when we are talking about price tags. Okay, I want to understand what constitutes a winger. Like, what do you when it comes to a winger, what do you see? What do you want to see in them?
I think historically, I think we've
Create
seen
chances,
like
score goals.
yeah, because I think
No, 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 no.
somebody like a Salah who can do both, right? So if you've seen, I think Salah has been this Premier League's, I think, most recent top winger, and he brings in that goal threat. Of course, defensively he's not that great, but when he is on the pitch, the opposition tends to like man up on him, and that brings in the space in the center. And that's what I think similar style that I think that's where they thought Isak will be very successful for Liverpool. Unfortunately for him, it was injuries that spoiled his season. But
Yeah.
I think that's where the idea would be. I think this would be a catapult for person in the center, which is most likely to going to be Gyökeres. So I think it's going to be more goals, more assists coming from that side.
Okay. So when I my so I'll just
Yeah,
expand on
I
my
have
question.
I have a
My thing
comment.
is,
I have a Raman. Raman, I'll just bring up a comment up. Like, person has been commenting. So before we get to your point again,
yeah.
Vinicius is a Madrista by heart, and we only have money to tempt him. And more comments. No London life, no weather, no history. Maybe a few Brazilian boys to make him comfortable. So again, yeah, Bruno Guimarães, Martinelli, Gabriel at the back.
Gabriel Magalhaes.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. Forget,
So
forget about all that. Forget about all that. Forget about if we have Brazilians, if we are
yeah,
from
and
Haiti,
also
whatever. Forget about it.
yeah, also to
I'll
answer your
answer to
question as
this
well,
guy.
like what do you expect from a cool, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
So like this was just an
We'll
answer to
come
your
to the
question of
second.
what do you
Come
expect
to the
from a winger.
second question,
So that was it.
but I'll respond to him.
Okay.
Charles, yeah, this one. No, no, the one before. The one before.
All right.
The
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one. So what I would like to say to this is, as a Madridista,
Madrista.
how do you pronounce it?
Madrista.
Madrista.
Madrista. As a
Madrista.
Madrista, of course, Vinicius has like a great name and everything. He's like one of your top players and everything. But then you have to focus on the word one-off.
Hmm.
And he's not going to surpass Mbappe. He's not going to surpass. I don't know. Maybe now
Bellingham.
that Rodri is coming there. Yeah, Rodri is coming there, who just
Yeah.
snatched his chain from the Ballon d'Or ceremony. He's coming there. Then there is Bellingham to an extent, right? So he's not going to get that superstardom thing. But if he comes to Arsenal, forget about Arsenal. If he comes to any of the Premier League sides, he's going to be the star of the Premier League.
Yes.
right? And then if anybody else comes in, it's up to them to snatch his chain, right? That's the only thing. Then it doesn't matter if it's money or if it's London or bad weather, 24/7 rain. Nothing else matters. It's just this. He will be a superstar, right?
Yeah.
The focus of the world when it comes to the Premier League will be on him. He will be the face of the Premier League. That is something I can guarantee. So yeah, that's your answer there.
Yeah, I think for me, I think the reason why he would want to move is there are twofold reason for it. I think
Hmm.
what, and this has been like proven in the past as well. I think when it comes to Florentino Perez, he's very sure about his players. Which player is going to be his top player? He ranks them. I think he has made a decision that his main player is Mbappe. And I think I just got the news recently, like, from Madrid sources, that they are looking for a top striker. What does that show to me? What it shows to me is Mbappe was most likely going to move towards the left wing,
on the
which
left
is
wing.
his preferred position, and then
Left
going to
wing,
have a
yeah.
striker in front, more of a Joselu kind of striker whom they prefer. And I think if that is going to happen, then Vinicius will is competing for a place against Mbappe, who he knows he's second best to in terms of the ownership, not in terms of his style of play or whatever. Just in terms of his pecking order in Real Madrid, he's second. At Arsenal or in the Premier League, he's not second. He's first. I think there's a chance of him to be stepping up. I think that's what tempts a lot of people to move, because
Yeah.
this is a new challenge that he can, if he overcomes this challenge, he can be one of the top players in the world.
Yep.
I have a question though, since Raman mentioned about actually, what do you have to respond about this one? My point was Vinny's situation and Ozil's situation are totally different. I did not really understand, but do you guys have an answer to that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think in terms,
it's very
yeah.
different.
Comment.
Sorry, you continue. You say.
No. When Ozil came, I think it was something very similar. I remember the transfer season when Ozil, there were issues in terms when once Angel Di Maria came, and I think that's where uh, the options came in between him and Ozil, and there were the structure of the team was not fitting in with Ozil in, and I think that's where Ozil was looking for the move. Even though he was doing very well in Madrid team. We got Ozil in. We got a prime Ozil. I think that's where I would say it is very similar to that, because Ozil was in his prime, and again I think Vinicius was also in his prime. So we are getting a player in the prime from a team like Madrid. So it's going to be top draw. But the situation is just slightly different. That's it. Vinicius is right now trying to be. I think the problem Vinicius is having is his pay as compared to Mbappe. He's pecking it against. He's saying Mbappe is earning this much. Why am I not earning? I have done more for you. That's where it's stuck. And Arsenal is willing to pay. And this is unlike before, where Arsenal had that dual ownership and they were not able to make have that wage bill. Now they have the flexibility, Arsenal, because Kroenke has owned everything and they want to invest and they want to continue winning. So I think the wage structure question, that's where it got addressed after, I think, after when once Josh Kroenke came in and Kroenke started, like, they owned the 100% of the club. You start seeing it improving. They start spending a little bit more, and I think that's where you're going to see a difference between when we had Ozil and what we have now. And the other difference is the team around Ozil was not the best, but the team around Vinicius is best. So he has the full support. If he wants to go
Yeah.
and be
Right.
expressive in the front of the goal, he has all the flexibility, because we have a very good midfield, we have a very good defense.
Yeah. I agree. But
Spot on.
once again, from
Bit,
what I
go on, Raman.
sorry, no, from what I gauge, it'll just be very short. From what I gauge of the Vinicius issue at Madrid is, it's not even the wage. I think they can offer him very close to Mbappe's salary or whatever. But then at the end of the day, the image rights is the thing. He wants an exception like the others had. Like only two players have had, Ronaldo and Mbappe. So from the information I gather, Madrid has only like a 20% cut on Mbappe's thing, and with Vinicius it's 50-50. The problem is that if they agree to like give Vinicius even something close to say 70-30, they fear that it'll open the gates for like other players like Bellingham and whatnot.
Correct.
Yesterday I saw another report where Bellingham's father held a meeting or whatever. So see, these are all linked in a way, you know,
Yeah.
because these players are like crazy brand values in the market and they are making like crazy money, and half of it has been taken by Madrid. So you can imagine.
But I think the
And
next
it's not.
comment, I think
Yeah.
I just want to take the next comment because I think we briefly spoke about it in terms of Alvarez and Vinicius. Vinicius is a different kind of profile. There's not the same profile, but
Okay.
Vinicius on the
Yeah.
wings
Yeah.
is somebody we need. We need somebody to fix. We need to fix the wings. I think Gyökeres is fine in the center. Havertz is fine in the center, and we have occasional master striker like Mikel Merino in our bench. So we can bring in somebody. So we don't have a problem there. The
I thought
problem
you
I think that we need to
I thought
fix
you were going to
is
say Gabriel Jesus.
I think we are forgetting Gabby Jesus. I think we need to, and I think everybody is forgetting, including Arsenal. Andrea Berta needs to know that they need to sell this guy.
No, they'll sell. They'll sell. They'll sell. See, the thing is, they are not asking for crazy money or whatever. They're just asking market value. So
I think 20,
let
20
them
million should be good price tag for Gabby
20
Jesus.
million. Yeah, that's it.
He can go
That
to
should be
AC
enough.
Milan. Yes.
Yeah.
But they've already picked up that idiot, no, Gonzalo Ramos.
I think Gabby Jesus is better than that.
No, I
More
won't say
proven goal
that.
scorer, right?
But
Actually,
I think for an Italian league, he will
yeah.
work. For an Italian league, just out of context, Italian league, Gabby Jesus would be still very good.
Right.
maybe.
Actually,
We'll see. We'll see. There
since
will
you
be
guys,
other opportunities. Sorry, Chito, go on.
yeah, yeah, you guys had mentioned about like during the time of Ozil, we did not have a great team around. Just this morning, I've seen like some post where they mentioned like I think I'm not sure which season it was, but then there was one season where there were three players with like 100 plus as goal involvements. Not 100 plus, I forgot the number, but then it was Kevin De Bruyne, Ozil, and Christian Eriksen.
Not maybe chances.
Three main like creators.
Chances created,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I think there was
in
one.
that
There was,
regard,
I wanted
I
to.
remember this season. I remember the season where Giroud he forgot how to score in the second half of the
Leicester.
season. Leicester
Leicester.
season, yeah, 2015. Ozil kept creating, and Giroud just forgot to score after Feb, I think. So they were.
Yeah.
I think we had a good
And
team. We
coming
had a
back
good team
to
around him. We had Cazorla, we had Sanchez, but Cazorla's injury record was. He's one of my favorite players at Arsenal, but I just wish he was fit more often. And I think that team we could have won in 2015 then.
yeah, and actually coming back to another point made about Vinicius will be the face of the Premier League or something like that. What do you guys
Yes.
think right now? Who are the currently the face of the Premier League? Like we have Saka, we also have Bruno Fernandes. He is there right up there. We have Haaland, and
Only one.
he is
I
there.
think there's
Bruno
only one.
Fernandes is right up there.
Of course.
No, but I think I will go. I'll say face of La Liga, Mbappe, face of Premier League, Erling Haaland. I don't think there is any comparison. I don't know why people are comparing Erling Haaland and Bruno Fernandes. There's no comparison.
You can't have one
Erling
player
Haaland
alone as
is
a
a
face
step
of the whole
above.
league.
No, you just
No, you
saw
can't have
his
one player
performance
alone.
in the World Cup. You saw Bruno Fernandes' performance in the Portugal side, which is much better than a Manchester United side. He couldn't do anything. So what I'm trying to say is, Haaland can pick a team up and take them. Norway was nothing team. He took them to the quarters, right? So I think you seeing there's a difference in terms of caliber here. I think Bruno Fernandes is similar to what a Saka is right now. Saka again has this potential to grow further, but Erling Haaland is a step above them. And what we need right now is a superstar of that nature. I think Premier League champions deserve it.
I agree.
Yeah, but
Again,
see, one player alone can never be.
La Liga face right now is Yamal and not Mbappe.
Go on.
Mbappe is Real Madrid.
I think you're a Barcelona fan. speak. This is a
For
Barcelona
me,
fan speaking. Yeah.
no. It's true. If you think of it right now, if Barcelona had to sell Yamal, what will they sell him for? I'm
More,
just throwing in a number.
upwards of 400, 500, I'm assuming.
Exactly. And will Mbappe be sold for that much?
Right now, no. Right now,
Exactly.
no.
Finish.
But still, Mbappe, I think he brings in more eyeballs than Yamal still.
I agree. But then when it comes to if you calculate Spain, if you calculate La Liga, and then you look at the world and how the world looks at La Liga, I feel Yamal is like much more superior.
Yeah,
And for the record,
but
I hate Barcelona.
no, I think for I think what a league needs is, I think what I realized in 2010s and like post 2014 is a rivalry. I think the reason why La Liga became so popular and again popular in India, popular across the world was because there were two big players going against each other. Like, and when a Ronaldo is going against Messi and they're both playing in the same league, that is what brings people to. I think Rafael, for example, Rafael Nadal versus Roger Federer brings eyeballs.
Correct.
And this is going to
Yep.
be similar. This is going to be similar. Premier League doesn't have it right now. There's Erling Haaland, then there's gap. So now a Haaland against a Vinicius would be a very good pitch for any person to start watching Premier League.
Fair.
That would be my pitch for the Premier League to help them grow into more markets.
No, it's absolutely spot on because we like you said, we don't have that kind of thing. And see again, when you can always have like this qualitative rivalries, like for example, Rice versus Bruno.
Yeah,
If you think of it, they're different players. They're doing different
correct.
jobs. But at the end of the day, the whole player of the season awards, it showed me that they value the goals and assists and the glitter more than the actual productive work.
Yeah, that guy
So
has
Yeah.
Rice
I
is
have
the
a
most undervalued player across because he has played so many games. He's played for the way he has played for England and led England. I think this just shows that, but he'll never be considered for any of the awards.
yeah, that's what.
Yeah, actually, it brings me back to the topic about like the face of the Premier League. Why is Rice not up there as a face of the Premier League? And also, my question: will 2 or 3 players from Arsenal banner
I
for
think
like the Premier League? Will 3 players from Arsenal like be up there? Vinicius, Saka, and Rice maybe. It will probably be just one player. And how is anyone picking Vinicius over Saka right now? Be like right
no.
up
So
there,
I'll
even
answer
if
the first
Vinicius
one
comes.
first. In terms of why Rice is not there, I think football, Ballon d'Or, all awards are very biased. I don't think they appreciate all aspects of the
Hackers.
game. They only appreciate goals, not even assists. So I think that's where we are a little unfair on all the football players across the pitch. Of course, there are very good players. Saliba is also a top class defender. I think the best in the world. But of course, we are not even talking about him right now, right? That's the problem with. I think goals brings in glamour, and that's how the narrative gets shaped, and that's why Haaland. But if you talk about good players, the Premier League has a lot of good players, and of course that's the reason why Premier League is such an attractive thing to watch. Uh, in terms of Vinicius, what I want to come back to here is a lot of people have been telling if Vinicius signs for Arsenal, he will Saka be giving up his 7 number. Will Vinicius play because Vinicius also wears a 7. I don't
He'll
know how
also
that
be thrown
equation,
into
all that
jail.
equation. I don't know what that equation is. I don't care what he wears, 777 or Salah for a reason, whatever he wears. Uh, I think what he does is between them, I think they're gonna definitely bring in more goals for each other, and they're gonna help each other, which is going to be something to watch out for. It's going to be a double threat from both sides, and I don't think Premier League is ready for it. One problem that we have been facing is a low block, and we not being able to break them, or we breaking them very late in the game. I think what Vinicius and Saka starting would do is it would create the defenders have to choose, and whenever you have to choose, there is a confusion. I mean, whenever there is confusion, there are goals. So I think that's how I look at it, and that's why I pick Vinicius over Alvarez.
I think for some reason the player who's going to benefit the most out of Vinicius and Saka is going to be Gyökeres, and neither of
No, it's
like
going
our
to be
wingers.
Saka. It's going to be Saka.
You're going to see more goals from Saka. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Raman is right.
absolutely. And one more thing, just going back to that whole superstar topic, like who's who and all, like the glamour part. Like, if you guys notice in the World Cup itself, Norway, so great example. Like when I talk about Norway's run to the quarterfinals and all, everybody is telling me, "Oh, Haaland was great. Haaland was great." No doubt he was great. But you know who was great? Odegaard. Odegaard allowed them that kind of controlled game that the coach wanted and everything. He was, in my eyes, their best player on the pitch throughout the tournament. But he'll never get his
No one
flowers
ever sees
because
Odegaard. No one ever sees
sorry,
what Odegaard is bringing.
exactly, and people are already
They're like,
debating when it comes to Arsenal that they have to like sell Odegaard and all that crap. It's just ridiculous. They have, in fact, people are not understanding that Odegaard is the main man on the pitch for us in terms of how we want to play, and he will be doing that if he's fit, of course.
exactly. Ganesha, you're muted, I think.
One thing I've noted after the World Cup, I think the mood of the fans has changed a lot in terms of Odegaard. They have now
Correct.
seen what Odegaard can do with a proper attacking and when he's fully fit. And I think World Cup, both I think even Sanderberg was also very good. That entire Norway team, they had a very good core, and that showed. Of course, and it was not just Haaland who carried them. And Odegaard was very good, even in the first games. I think he was leading. I think you could see that leadership skills. A lot of people, these people keep on Talk Sport and everybody talking about Odegaard's captaincy. I think that is something that he's addressed now with Norway. He's shown what leadership is. Leadership on the pitch can doesn't need to be like Roy Keane. Not everybody needs to be Roy Keane. I think that's something that we have to move on. It's a new type of leadership. Maybe Roy Keane doesn't understand that.
Yeah, guys, I have 3 comments to pull up. So yeah, one of them being, if you Arsenal start next season favorites by just touching any other areas, my response would be like impossible. Bruno Guimarães is 100% joining Arsenal because Eddie Howe has just left. So there's a midfielder coming in. There's very likely even a defender coming in, and if Kepa is leaving, even a goalkeeper coming in, other than an attacker. So I think we will be in the market until the final day, most probably. So go on, Ganesha and Raman. What do you guys
I
think
think
about
the
this?
question is, do you feel Arsenal will start as the favorite? I think even without signing of Vinny, I'll just go by giving a context. Liverpool is having a new manager who has to prove himself at Liverpool at a big club. Xabi Alonso at Chelsea still has to prove. Of course, they're going to play week in week out. They're not going to have a Champions League or a European fixture again. But he has to prove himself. Maresca at City still has to prove himself at a big club. Chelsea, he was good. He was decent. He was not good. He was decent. But this is a step up. Can he do it? I don't know. I think the longest serving manager alongside Arteta in the league right now is going to be Aston Villa's Unai Emery. That team is also undergoing a transition where they have sold a lot of good players. Of course, they've kept on McGinn still, but that team is again with all these as a context. Arsenal starts the season as a favorite. We have not done two in a row ever, but I think this is a good start because if we get a good start, I think we will end up being in a good position going forward because a lot of these other clubs are still experimenting with the squads, experimenting with the new managers. So that's what we need to take an advantage of, and that's why we are the favorites, even if we don't sign Vinny.
Yeah, spot on. I'll bring on the other comments as well. Raman, you have anything?
No, we have to also look at the defensive thing because it's actually very complex in terms of what sort of defender we are looking for. Because I believe we should get a left back or a right back rather than focusing on a centre back. If you are focusing on a centre back, then you might as well bring. No, I'm saying if you're not getting any full backs, then you might as well bring a left centre back for Gabriel's cover, right? And
I
I
understand what you're
think
saying.
I think we have enough Saliba covers in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
The
are
one thing
a
that we're
lot of
forgetting,
comments. Yeah.
one thing we're
Go
forgetting
on,
is
go on.
Timber plays centre back. Ben White plays centre back. Hincapié plays centre back. Ricardo Calafiori plays centre back. So I think we are. I'm just happy that we didn't sign and go like spend 52 million and sign a Lacroix.
This is exactly this versatility is exactly what Arteta was looking for from the very beginning.
Exactly.
All our signings, and
if all of them are not
now
fit,
it's
we still have Declan Rice who can still come back and play a better role than a lot of defenders.
We even have Nogard who can play. We even have Mikel Merino for the matter who can play in defense. He's played in defense for Dortmund. Merino is a cheat code. Like no one can coach him. Anyway, yeah, we have
Merino is a cheat code.
quick fire.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do like this, like a quick fire question round or something, because there are like a lot of comments that have piled up. So I'll just bring it up quickly. Let's answer them quickly, like rather than going in. One is being like Haaland's greatness. Grant, we have been taking Haaland's greatness in recent years. There have only been a few strikers in Premier League history who have consistently gotten 25 to 30 goals in a season. So anything to add on this thing?
And that's why he's the face of the league, I think, because nobody has done that. And what he's doing, he's just creating records each season.
Right, and City have just even signed Elliot. What's his name?
Anderson.
Yeah. So who is like basically a marathon runner? He's been running marathons like whole season, last season. So I think maybe Haaland is like going to break like more records.
It would be interesting to see how Maresca plays him, how Maresca services him, because Maresca was good with both Nicholas Jackson and with João Pedro. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how he structures the gameplay for City. It's not going to be the same as Pep, so we have to see the difference.
Right. I'll just bring the next one. This one tweet by David on stream has consumed EFC fans, where others like etc. haven't said a word. Oh, probably it's the Vinicious transfer one. Yeah,
exactly.
So
with regards to Arsenal, I think Raman said it very well. There are only 2-3 sources that we can trust. One is on Steam, then this Hand of Arsenal, and Sammy Mogbel, who has a lot of sometimes has the insider news. But
that's
apart from that, anybody else? Yeah,
you don't need anybody else. Finish like these three. Just keep your notice on.
So Jay-Z. So I'll tell you the link now. So Vinicious Jr is represented by a sporting agency company called Rock Nation. Rock Nation is owned by Jay-Z. And Jay-Z was, I think, in the past, I remember this particular context and interview where he was asked if he was going to invest in Liverpool. And he said, why would I invest in Liverpool? And this is when, who was that guy? The basketball player who invested
Spotify
LeBron James. When LeBron James invested in Liverpool, they asked Jay-Z casually if he would invest in Liverpool as well, and he said, "Why would I invest in Liverpool? I'm an Arsenal fan." So now everybody's putting two together and saying that Vinicius is represented by Jay-Z's sporting agency, so he would want to bring him to Arsenal. Is what everybody's. I think that might be the reason as well, because the sporting agency people earn a lot of good commission when such a big transfer happens. And Vinicius like kind of players will not get transferred too often. The value would be high, but they will not get transferred too often.
Fair enough. I'll just bring on the next one. I like Antonio Nusa as plan B for Vinicius. I just don't plan Z Marcus Rashford. I mean, not bad, not good. It's fine.
No, but you saw my list, right? No. So, Jito, you saw my list. So, in my list of picking order, I even have one below Marcus Rashford, and that is Jadon Sancho. If we don't get anything else, that's where we are. So, but I think Antonio Nusa, I think he's good. We're going to have competition. I think what I'm happy is if Savinho is going to Tottenham, because Tottenham is also in for Nusa. So Nusa is a good player, and we have seen him in the World Cup as well. He's very direct, so he's also a good player on the wings. So yeah, I would not mind Nusa, but Vinicius is Vinicius, of course, and then everybody else is in the pecking order. Nusa, Martinelli, I don't know. Martinelli is still good enough.
There's a question for you,
Okay, I'll
Ganesh.
ask you one question. I'll ask you
Yeah,
one
yeah,
question
yeah.
on the
Go on.
left winger thing. So when you see Barcola and Barcola playing, okay, for example, or Vinicius playing, this I saw somewhere. Okay, I'll find that out and verify it later. I can't find it now. But you know what is a take on, right?
Hmm.
Like like taking on a defender, however, whichever way, like dribbling past or just pacing it ahead. A take on is a take on. So I was surprised to see that Martinelli leads both Barcola and Vinicius in terms of take-ons attempted and take-ons completed percentage wise. Take-ons attempted is number, like a
Yeah.
proper number, but completed is a percentage, and it's incredible. That then I realized that over the last 1.5 seasons, many have been looking at Martinelli with like only to criticize him for not doing certain things, and when he actually does certain things unbelievably well, nobody cares to even point that out.
I think it
Anyway,
was a
that's
Which is something only the
Squawka
manager
case.
sees.
now coming back to that. Why I said this point was because Jito asked a question earlier, who is going to pay 80 to 100 million for Martinelli. My question is that bloody PSG is
Martinelli.
asking for 145 for Barcola. What is I don't get it. Like if Barcola is sold for 145 or anyway close to that, anyway close to even 120, I I firmly think that Arsenal should place a huge price tag on Martinelli in the 80, 90, 100 million whatever price range. If clubs are desperate for wingers, let them buy it. And see, looking at the market how it's going, it's the best time to sell Martinelli if we are planning to sell, and we should be very very smart about it if they are planning to sell, of
Right.
course.
Yeah. We have Ganesha put up a image on our group,
Yeah.
which is basically Barcola and Martinelli's comparison.
Look at
Will you see it?
Raman, just look at this comparison between Martinelli and Bakula. It's fascinating that I was saying, did you see take-ons completed?
Yeah,
And this
yeah,
is
I
exactly
saw
what I was
this,
seeing.
but then no, hold on. I saw this, but then I also saw like with four players,
Hmm.
uh, with like
But if you
and
look
it
at this,
included
the
some.
shots on target is almost
Uh,
same. The
yeah,
goals, Martinelli has a good finishing ability, so he's there up there. But again, he can be better. Assist is where Bakola is leading, and chances created is again he's marginally leading there. But if you see through balls, Martinelli is good. If you see take on completed, Martinelli is good. If you see take on success, Martinelli is good. So I think we are undervaluing Martinelli a lot, and that's where when I compare him to Nusa, I don't know what incremental value we get.
I have a comment to this thing. I think it's all this PR. Like been throughout history been a selling club. Like they sell for big money. Arsenal
Hmm.
have never been a selling club. So
Correct.
that's probably the reason why our players, even though we are like our players could probably be way better, we are still not
Yeah.
valued on par with like the other competition from like various XYZ clubs. It could be even from a club like Bournemouth. Like a
Yeah.
Bournemouth player could go for 100 million, but a player who's like better for Arsenal, who's better than that player, would from Arsenal would probably just go for like 50, 40 or whatever. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just that.
Yeah. You want to go to
I'll
the
bring up.
comments?
Do we guys have any more comments to add over here? Sorry.
I think there is one comment from Charles which was like about the World Cup fatigue of our squad and how so many of our players went
Yeah,
in
yeah.
deep in World Cup knockouts. And I think this is something I was
In
wondering,
fatigue, yeah.
and this is where I want to segue into us getting Bruno Guimarães, how important it is. And I think a lot of these I was thinking it's so funny that a lot of these Newcastle-based journalists and me and Raman were joking about them as well, like in terms of how they are saying that okay, this is not happening. They constantly been telling us that this deal, Newcastle is not entertaining this deal at all for Bruno Guimarães. And then today we wake up to the news that Eddie Howe is leaving, and it took David Ornstein to break that news, and none of these Newcastle reporters broke that. So looking at that, if I and that's where I'm coming in, like in terms of Bruno Guimarães, he brings that balance to that midfield. I think Rice is going to be struggling in terms of initial phases of the season. I think similar will be with Saliba. I think Saka is not also 100% fit, so we have to compensate for these players. Good thing is Madueke, we have we have a replacement for Saka. In terms of what on the left, we both Martinelli and Zoles are good enough to start the season. Uh, Big deals like Guimaraes or Vinicius Jr. generally tend to go deep into the transfer window. They're not happening immediately because there is so much to negotiate in terms of value of the player and the image rights and all the other factors alongside. So these contracts are a little complicated than normal transfers. So that's why you need to have a little bit of patience and expect them to join the team a little later. So you initially will start with a team which is a little bit more not your first team or not your first preferred team for Mikel Arteta. But I think again we still have Ethan Vaneri who can play on the wing. We still have Max Dowman who can play on the wing. In the midfield, we have a good informed Miles Lewis Kelly. We have Mikel Merino who's fit. So we have Zubimendi who hasn't played. Even though he's won the World Cup, he hasn't played many minutes. He got his rest. And Zubimendi, I'm looking for him for having that fresh start that when he came to Arsenal. I think that kind of exuberance is again going to bring when he's fit now. So I think with that, I think we should be able to manage it. The initial set of fixtures. Once we do that, I think when once we have these players completely fit and back, I think it's going to boost our chances. Typically, we are always at our worst December 1st, November and December 1st week. But I think this time it will be a little bit of difference because a lot of these players are going to come back then and add value to our squad.
Correct.
Right. Just three more comments. Yeah, just three more comments. I'll just. Raman, you have anything to add very quickly
No, just continue.
to these?
No, continue.
Okay. Three more comments. It was like one is.
This is me, yeah. This is
Which,
me.
yes, I mean. Oh, sorry.
But just to give an information, Raman is a Nusa fan.
No.
I remember you telling me.
Okay.
Because it in an earlier stream, I remember you telling that we should sign. He's a good player. This is before we signed Zolis.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at this thing, no? So Zolis came out
Yes.
of nowhere. So
Yes.
I mean, I was looking from the lens that we need like a player that we can he's like in a strong position where we can develop him into a top star.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even today, if there was no Zolis, I would have. I mean, compared to other wingers in the market, I would have definitely taken Nusa as an example.
Yeah. Agree.
Okay. So quickly moving on to the next one. In my opinion, Maresca has the opportunity to build a team around Erling and create a system which optimizes. That sometimes he would be a passenger. What do you guys think?
Who?
I think
he thinks
and this is-
under Pep, Erling was a passenger sometimes, but then under Maresca, he thinks Erling would be like a much better player.
and I think this is exactly what I was referring to before. Maresca looks. I think he will structure the team around Haaland. Pep again,
Haaland.
as you know, Pep has been always known for not. He prefers a system above everything else, and that's where I think Haaland might score actually more goals. I don't know how that structure will get impacted if Rodri leaves, because that will definitely be a dent in terms of Rodri and Bernardo Silva both leaving. It's not going to be an easy fix for that. So I think there is a lot of chances of teams going against the run of play and scoring goals against this City side as well. So that's where I still see Arsenal as favourites to be dominating this season. But yeah, I think this is where I feel old. By the way, when Wade wrote IMO, I did not know what that meant actually.
Oh man,
But
come on. Okay.
thanks to you. You clarified that for me.
I almost like okay. You guys are not too old, but anyway, yeah. So moving on to the next one, Raman, this is for you. Oh no, it's Arsenal a poor sales guy. Oxlade Chamberlain is like the highest sales, and how many years ago is it? Probably true. And just
So
athletic club to a
I
player.
want to understand what is poor sales.
I
I
think
really want
we're
to
not making
understand
Brighton. Why are we not making Brighton kind of sales?
because we are not Brighton.
But they sold somebody like a Danny Welbeck now for how much? Like
Yeah,
for
no,
good
they,
value.
whatever. It doesn't matter. Welbeck, whatever, what they would have sold, 1 million, 2 million.
No,
My whole point is you have to understand what is sales. Okay. Now take Manchester United, take Liverpool for example, right? They didn't they bought Darwin Nunes. They didn't sell him for like the price they bought him in. They sold him for like what 46 million. You
no,
get
but
my
I think
point?
he
We
still is he still not with Liverpool?
who Darwin Nunes?
Yeah, I don't think they sold him.
Darwin Nunes is finding a new club now. It's apparently finding a new club.
Yeah, I don't think
He
they've.
was sold last year to Al Hilal. He had a very
Okay.
tragic season. Like he was decent, but then they got Benzema. They removed it from the first team squad for like the league or whatever. Irrespective. Then
Hmm.
they did a big sale of Luis Diaz. But if you actually think of other players, they haven't really sold anything. Like Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, yes. Manchester United, Paul Pogba, and all they invested big and all. Bro, they're not selling. They're not great sellers. None of
Yeah.
these big clubs are great sellers apart from City, because they are not operating on a traditional model. They're operating on a very different model, which which we are slowly catching up to, and it takes time to
Yeah.
catch up. Now, when it comes to these constant jibes about Oxlade Chamberlain and this thing and all, brother, we sold Oxlade Chamberlain for 35 odd million. We
We
sold
sold the
Smith
Smith
Rowe.
Rowe,
We sold Inketia. We sold who's that other guy? Uh,
Sambi,
Balogun,
Balogun.
Iwobi.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about it. These are all. There are more. These are all homegrown talents,
And we
right?
sold them for
And
roughly around 40 million, like 30 to 40 million bracket.
30, 40 million, whatever. These players, the kind of money they bring in, they may not look big, but then in terms of the value, it's massive. So I
Because
always
100%
fight
profit.
against the yes, I fight against the agenda that these are like bad sales. You know what I mean? These are not bad sales. Now everybody's see, for example, other smaller clubs are selling their players for big prices. I can get it because they have to. But we selling Leandro Trossard, I just made a rough calculation that day. Even though we bought him for 27 million pounds, we sold him for 17 million pounds. The overall tenure and everything, we made a profit of around 13 million
3 minutes,
pounds.
Yeah.
13.
Okay, so we're not bad
Oh,
sellers.
yeah.
Because you depreciate the player as well, right? Over a period of his term. You
Mhm.
can't say
Correct.
he was 27
Yeah,
before at his age. Now he's about 30. So the value changes as
yeah,
well. So and what I understand is if I tell you the players who will get the most value, Martinelli, Nwaneri, Max Dauman. If you sell those players, you'll get a lot of money. But do you want to sell them? I don't
Correct.
think I want to sell them. And that's where the
I mean,
difference between us and Brighton is. Brighton is ready to sell. Bournemouth is ready to sell a Krupi for a specified price tag of 130, 125 million. They're ready to sell him. The same thing with Brighton. If you ask them go for a younger uh, player, they are ready to sell the younger player and make money, which is something that we won't do, and we want our prime players to play well. We are not a selling club. So if you see Arsenal and all these big clubs are going to generally sell weaker that way compared to the smaller clubs.
no, Ganesha, like I'll just ask you this question because I think you might relate. When we built the stadium, right? We were
Hmm.
the conditions were not as favorable as it is today, right? And
But we sold a lot of players.
yeah,
So I'll tell you,
because
Van
we
Persie.
had to. No, forget Van Persie, forget Van Persie and everything else. Yeah, of course, we still sold for a fantastic value if you think of it. If
Yeah.
these idiots who are commenting saying that we are not good sellers, I'm just calling you idiot for a fun. Yeah, Charles, chill out. So I'm just saying,
Oh, shit.
is it Charles or is it Ved? It's
No, Charles.
Charles. Okay. So I'm not.
But he has a valid point.
I'm
He has a
saying,
valid point.
yeah. So the Alexis Sanchez transfer that we got for like 35 million, we got him for 35 million. If you actually calculate the current value of that 35 million right now, it's close to 90 million. So it's not like we didn't pay big. I'm just saying that we have to have some perspective. Samir Nasri, we sold for a good sum. Van Persie, even Fabregas. At that point, it was a decent sum. Now, right now, when people say that, oh, you need to sell. No, we don't need to sell. We don't need to sell. We haven't built this squad up to the point where we managed it by selling. We didn't because we don't need to. We have fantastic revenue, right? And even and from moving forward, if whatever players are being sold from this current squad, they are gonna go for a premium price. They're not gonna go for cheap.
Yeah, but I think the only point is in terms of if you the player who has not peaked yet, for example, an Uneri or a Max Dorman, where you are betting, and that's where a lot of other big clubs would be willing to pay the premium. And but is Arsenal looking to sell them? Is the question now. Are
Correct.
you happy selling a Max Dorman or are you happy selling a Ethan Veneri or a Miles Lewis Kelly? You're going to get value for him. But are you happy to sell him, or do you want to keep him? That's the question. You want to sell Christian
Absolutely.
Norgard and earn 50 million? That's not going to happen, right?
No.
Yeah, that actually
How much of a good?
that actually brings us up to the this non-airy selling non-airy conversation.
Yeah. No,
Dortmund is
I
showing
think I'm
interest, like
happy.
this was shared by Ganesh.
Correct. I'm just happy that the last line, which is what I think should happen in the end, a loan remains a possible option if regular first team minutes cannot be guaranteed. I think this should have happened even in the last year. I think if Dortmund was in the situation, because Dortmund kind of club is a little bit more stable club than Marseille, where you can the fan base is fine, the development of a player is guaranteed. We have seen in the past good players coming out of Dortmund, younger players playing well and getting developed, getting the much required game time. So I think it's a good possible move. Dortmund is a good possible move. There was another rumor that he might be going to AC Milan. I would be strongly against it. Not going to help him. Not going to help Milan. There was and I think that somewhere I think as personally, I would still he scored the first goal in the practice game as well. So I still think there's a lot of talent there. Nwaneri is going to have his future at Arsenal. I don't think we're going to sell him.
No, fair. But my question is to you is that do you are you open to a sale? Forget if we shouldn't or we shouldn't not.
I'm not.
And then
Non-airy and
how do you
Dortmund
see
both
him in the team then?
loan.
I think he
Send them
needs
out
a
on
year
loan. Like
more. I think he needs a year more to be. Yeah, I think because I don't know when I compare when I stack up the wing options, Saka, Madueke, and Vaneri. I think I'll put Vaneri over Madueke actually. Vaneri is a much more of a threat. He can cut back. He can do what Saka does. Madueke can't do that. Madueke can go to the goal line and cross it inside, but something that Saka does very regularly, get the ball to his left foot and then cut in and score, where he gives a threat of goal scoring and assisting. That's something Madueke misses, and but Nwaneri has it, and Nwaneri can do that as well. So if I look at the goal scoring opportunity, I think I'll put Madueke as a third option. And if Saka
No,
is
but
not fit, I would not sell him. If Saka is not fit, 100% fit, and he's not going to play a lot of minutes, I'll keep Nwaneri.
no, but why are you forgetting that Max Dauman is a third option?
Max Dorman is too young. I think he should not be playing so many minutes. I don't want another Jack Wilshere on our hands.
Okay, here my point out. Okay, what I'm saying is, Vaneri, the thing is, he has plenty of talent. I have no doubt about it. He can play a role. He can play centrally the Odegaard role. He can play on the wing. fine. I also believe that he can also play as a false nine, right? So I have complete faith in him. But whatever talent I've seen out of him in the last 1.5 seasons is all in flashes, right? Nothing consistent. Now, if you, I can understand your point of why you're comparing him to Madueke, but one thing about Madueke, he provides us a specific kind of option on the wing, and he does that consistently. He may not be scoring a lot of goals, he may not be doing a lot of things that is like considered great or whatever in terms of flashiness, but he's very very consistent, right? And that's the kind of backup we need, even experience wise, for Saka. Now, when it comes to Vaneri, what I am suggesting is a loan is a very bad idea, because loan, what happens in a loan is player is very insecure.
Hmm.
Player is very,
Hmm.
the future is very uncertain. See, he just signed a new contract. Understand this perspective. He just signed a new contract, and he we shouldn't put him in a position so young that he doesn't know what the future holds for him. So instead, if a big club like Dortmund or whoever it is that comes in, sell him for a good price, retain a
Hmm.
massive sell-on clause, and retain a
Hmm.
purchase, like a buyback clause, like how these Real Madrid guys operate, right? We
Even
should do
City.
that. Even City, right?
Something like a
But
Nico
I like,
Pass.
yeah, but that is the Real Madrid model. Nobody is doing that. City does a sell-on clause, right?
Yeah.
And that gives them a discount if they want to repurchase the player,
Correct.
like how they did with. See, I'll just give you an example. Now people were complaining that why is City is selling him for like 40 million, James Trafford, right?
Hmm.
What did they buy him for? They bought him for like 28 million or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, if you actually calculate, his market value was 40. They just got a discount because of their sell-on clause, and they
Because
got
he
him for
was their
27,
player. Yeah.
right? And they just technically sold him for the price they actually paid for it.
Hmm.
So like that, if we can formulate a plan wherein we have like a buyback clause, a massive sell-on clause, bro, the thing is we should have control over Waneri's future. I want to see him at the club in the future, but right now the conditions are not ideal for him to thrive. We
That's true.
might just end up ruining a potential 100 million pound player right now if we end up keeping him.
But I think there's a good chance that
Jesus
this
commented.
kid can go for 100 million as well, like 80 to 100 million in this market.
Sure,
I think
not in
even
this market, but in the future. Right now, I'm taking 30-40, no problem, with all these clauses.
I
Hmm.
think Jesus commented like something like he's a killer in front of the goal on Neri
Rubbish,
recently.
you killer,
Yeah, I'll just
bus
quickly,
killer.
we have to cover like, yeah, we have to cover some other short topics very quickly. I'll just bring on the next comments by Charles. Like they were this close to being in red, and
Hmm.
Charles, we apologize for the idiot comment. Please, like personally, it was just like probably Roman. You probably have something to say on that.
Sorry.
I mean, Charles had commented after that. So I was just saying that we didn't mean anything ill from the idiot comment. It just like, yeah,
I think that's what something that is Raman says to us as well. So that's
yeah,
that is
exactly.
follow.
No, I don't
Nothing to.
understand this. Am I dyslexic or what? I can't read this.
Nah, nah, nah.
What is this?
We are
It
basically
says
this close to being red.
this close to being red in PSR rules and squad to cost ratio will
Show me
overflow.
proof.
Totally disagree
Show me
on the point that
proof.
we don't.
We are far ahead of anyone in terms of PSR. We Manchester City are very close to, like, we can spend whatever we want, right? We are not idiots that we are going to spend so much on Vinicious Jr. Right? We are not idiots that we are going to spend so much on a 29-year-old Bruno Guimarães. So we are not bothered about PSR or not.
Okay, super. I think we'll just move on from this topic, and
Yeah.
we've covered the non-80 one, and even this part, I think Eddie Hall leaving and like Bruno Guimarães is like more or less confirmed to be moving to Arsenal. We'll probably get an update like very soon on this thing. Uh, Can we then not Chelsea topic now? Like if we are like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sure,
big.
sure. You can touch
Okay.
base.
So moving on, like it's one of our players itself, one ex-gunner itself, two ex-gunners actually. So someone had tweeted up this like Chelsea moving for Danny Welbeck, Jordan Henderson, and Granit Xhaka at the same time. You guys have seen this meme, right? Like these crackheads, like they are walking.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the video? Yeah. It's
I
crazy.
think
I mean, it makes sense.
no,
It
I
makes
think
sense
it
why
makes
they are going for Jordan Henderson. Go on.
I'll give the
Sorry,
context.
Ganesh.
I think I would want to clarify and give the context in terms of uh, like why it makes sense. I think it still makes sense. Welbeck, whatever his age, and he scored the number of goals that he has scored last season, so he is in quite a good form. Chelsea is not looking for they have Joao Pedro, who's going to be their main player in front of the goal, but they are looking for a player who can come off the bench and make that impact. Unfortunately, Liam Delap is not that player. They tried it with Broha. He was also not that player that they expected him to be. They could not make the impact starting. They could not make an impact when coming off the bench. And Nicholas Jackson is too many cards. So I think that's again a big risk that you're taking, especially when you're bringing somebody to win the game and he gets a card. So it's a big gamble that you're taking, right? So considering all the facts, Welbeck is a very, very, very prudent purchase. I think he's going to add value to this squad. And I think with somebody like Javi Alonso, I think he's going to use him well. Jordan Henderson, I think they moved to Henderson because they could not get Granit Xhaka. I think their original target was Xhaka. I think Xhaka, for whatever reasons, did not make that switch from Sunderland. I think it's a good move from Xhaka that he did not make the switch because one thing, I think at Sunderland he looks settled. He knows now the structure around him and the team is built around him, so he has a little bit more flexibility there. And I think he was aware of the backlash that he was getting if he had moved to Chelsea from Arsenal fans. And I'm just happy that he didn't make the switch. But
Same.
I think Henderson was a second choice behind him. I don't know how he's going to. Maybe he's going to add some value, but if in that midfield he's not going to start for sure.
It's leadership, more or less, like just experience, like probably teaching the young. There are a lot of right.
Yeah.
So probably just help. Grow.
Correct. I think that's where I think he adds value because this team is a lot in terms of the age profile is so young. They need somebody to be there as a like. I think they made a mistake selling Thiago too quickly. I think Thiago Silva was doing that mentorship kind of role and being the like the captain of a mentor for a lot of these people. I think Henderson is going to fill that role. I think having a player, a manager like Xavi Alonso is definitely going to help because, and I think that's maybe he brings out a different kind of style out of Henderson as well in terms of his long range passing.
Yeah, actually, even like yeah, I've seen a post about someone like Chelsea either sign like 13-year-olds from Brazil 9th division, or they are signing like random 36, 40-year-olds from like big clubs. So no one understands the strategy. I think this has been pretty much it. Like if we have already like the stream was planned to be like quite short, but then like,
we went past
we took a bit longer, but yeah. So you guys have any quick points to share other than what we have already discussed before we wrap it up?
Not really. I think we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm just hoping for the tweet from. I'm just looking forward to the tweet from David Ornstein next.
Yeah,
it's gonna come when you're sleeping, like wait, it's coming.
Yeah.
Has it come?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't.
No, nothing yet.
Oh no. So Hand of Arsenal just retweeted his tweet.
Old one.
No, the right now. The couple of hours back he said 80 million, whatever. He just retweeted that. So yeah, so I think by the time you're going to bed, nice and sleepy, you're gonna be hit with a dopamine rush. Yeah.
A good hit, and then you can't sleep for some time.
Yeah.
Next morning you'll see the Brazilian samba memes. whatever.
No, I think
Okay.
I'm
think-
going to manifest. I'm going to manifest Vinicius Junior's because you know how
Transfer.
we have been pushing this transfer from even before it was in news, Jito. And I think
Yeah.
hopefully we can manifest it.
I was the guy who was saying something like, "Why bring Vinicius when you already have Martinelli?" So, I think then this is it. Like we have wrapped.
Yeah.
Our next stream is probably going to be on Sunday. We'll post our updates on like our channels on Twitter. Do follow us on Twitter on Tacticos, and
And
follow
in case
us
you
as
want to
well.
join us, message at our handles, and we are more than happy to have more people on board and talk to us, regardless of the club, regardless of the league. We want to talk football.
Absolutely, and we are like totally unbiased. We just love talking about football. Yeah, super. So thank you to everyone who joined in and on the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it and gained something informative from it. Thank you for everyone who even commented. Charles, again, we apologize for like the comment. I hope you're not offended. We hope
Hey
you
Charles,
join in.
hey Charles, no, I have a message for Charles. Charles, I didn't mean to offend. Okay, I just talked like that. So don't take it like that, and please come back to the stream next time. You can even join if you want, right? No problem with it. So we'll just send you the link. You can message us however you can, and we can send you the link. But don't take my idiot comment as offensive. Yeah,
I don't think he's taking the offensive, but I think he wants to make a point that we are not good at selling, and I think at some point.
No, he's right. He's right in his own way. I'm not denying it. But then when I said when I said the word idiot, it wasn't meant for him as such. But in general, when people say that we don't sell well, but then fine, we don't sell well in terms of big numbers, but then we need to add the perspective. So Charles, apologies, man, if you took it any different way. Yeah.
Super. Perfect. So I think we have wrapped this up. I think it was a fun stream. Looking forward to seeing more next one, and do subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And this is the Untacticos signing off. Bye.